Hi folks, it's me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna bring you through my series reading tracker spreadsheet scenario. I did make a how I track my reading kind of video quite a while ago now, and I've made quite the updates. There's really been like just a complete overhaul, especially visually, of how I have my tracker now. I'm much happier with it. It took a lot of working around trial and error to get to what I have it at now, but I'm very happy with it. So I guess, without further ado or whatever, I should start screen recording so I can talk you through the new series tracker. So here is the new series tracker look. It's actually the same tracker, it's just that I have updated it much. So it's now my favorite aesthetic, beige on beige on beige. I love a neutral, what can I say? I've also actually made all of the writing here is actually like very dark brown instead of black. I think it makes a difference. In my mind, makes a difference. I've mainly changed the look of it, but I have changed a little bit as well, some of the functions that's happening. In case you haven't seen my other video as well, I'll just talk you through my series tracker in general. Basically, I mainly read series. I'm not reading a lot of standalone books, so this is my main tracker when it comes to reading. I do also use Goodreads and Storygraph to track my readings for like actual dates of when I start and finish each book, but I have my series tracker here to do like an overview for myself of how many series and I'm currently reading, how many books are in those series, how many have I read, what's my progress in them, am I up to date, do I need to read more, are they ongoing series, are they completed series, all of these kind of things that come into play when you're reading book series. Obviously, there's always the potential for more releases. So I have here my series tracker up at the top. I just have it titled because why not? And then here the currently reading is the number of series I'm currently reading. And this is a calculation. Actually, it counts how many of these check boxes are unchecked. And that's the number that's there. So say if I was to like get up to date in the Lane Winslow series here, if I check that off, you can see it changes it to 14. If I uncheck it, it goes back to 15. It took me a while to get all of these things working properly, but I'm very happy with how it is. And then up here, I just have some other sums. I have the number of books in all of the series I'm currently reading, which is 145. Then I have the books in these series that I've read, which is 103, and then it also calculates out then how many I have left to read, which right now is 42, which is quite a lot. I then, of course, have the breakdown of all the series I'm reading. This just keeps going on forever and ever, so I can continue to add more, and it will all calculate automatically. So I have the name of the series followed by the author. I used to not have the author on my spreadsheet tracker, and it was because I would just like know the author off the top of my head, but then I was like, maybe I should write that down because there's gonna become a day where I forget what author wrote what. It then tells me how many books are in the series, and then I have a little drop down menu here where I can put in if the series is an ongoing series or if it's a completed series. I then have the amount of books I've read. So both the books in series and the read columns here, I fill these in automatically myself. So when I see a new book is being released, I will change this number to go up one. When I've read a book, I update this in my series. I just delete 3, I'd put in 4, And then the to read is auto-calculated as doing like this number minus this number to get to here. I've then also added this progress bar, did some Googling to figure out how to make this, but I like it. So I have a progress bar and I have the percentage then that matches the progress bar. So that means, again, if we use Lane Winslow for an example, if I put in 4, I now read another book, this changes to 7 and my progress bar is updated, which that's just fun. Okay, that's just fun. I then have date started and date finished. So these are actual like full date entries, but I just have it display as like month, year to keep it a bit cleaner. And basically this is the date I started the first book and then the date I finished the last book in the series. So a lot of these, even if it's like an up to date, like with A Court of Thorns and Roses, even though I'm up to date because I've read all 5 of the books that are currently released, I don't have a date finished here because it's an ongoing series. So I just click the up to date, which means there's not currently any more books I need to read. Once a new book releases, I would unclick this. But for now, this is like kind of what works best for the way my brain works to keep everything, clear on the status of all the series. So this is an overview. So it includes everything I'm currently reading, everything I have read, everything is here. I do enjoy having the lines change color, like they go back and forth. It helps visualize things easier when you have this many columns going. But I do then also, as you can probably see down here, more tabs. So I'm actually going to go to the On My Radar tab first, because in my old series tracker, I used to actually just have like a list down below of like series I'm wanting to read, and I realized that was a horrible plan. I don't know why I had that down there. So I moved it over to On My Radar. And again, I haven't updated this, so this could be not accurate with the number of books in series. And it also could not be accurate with the genre and an age range, because I just guessed those when I was filling this out. So if any of these look incorrect to you, let me know, because I'll update it. But these are just like any series that I've been like, oh, I might want to read that. I put it here. I have the name of the series, the author, the number of books in the series when I inputted it. And then I have a genre designation as well as an age range designation. So if I'm looking to kind of start a new series, if I'm looking for something to read and I don't know what I want to grab, I can kind of reference this to see, what piques my interest. Gives me some ideas, gives me some groundwork. So I moved this onto its own tab just to keep things cleaner, so that the series overview is purely just the series overview. I then have my currently reading tab. So this is where I do a breakdown of all the series that I'm currently reading. As you can see, I have a little key up here for like if a series is completed, if I own a book, if a book isn't released yet, and then I have the colors to designate each year I read this in. I think I'm probably just going to keep it at 4, and then I may just like restart the colors again, but I think I might need 5 colors, like have a 5-year color rotation. I'm really planning very far ahead in terms of this series tracker. This is going to be around for a while, but it's pretty straightforward. I type out every book that is in each series, and then I color code them off as I read them so I can see how I'm doing. Any series that I'm like up to date on but aren't completed series stay on the currently reading series list. So A Court of Thorns and Roses, right? I read them all, but it's still here. Same with Wayward Children. It just kind of keeps me... Oh, I actually own Beartown now, so I can underline that. Cute. So it just like keeps me knowing like this is still a currently reading series. It's not a finished series in my brain yet until it's like a completed series that I have finished reading, And for series that are like that, I actually have a second tab here that's called completed series, which is basically when I'm done reading a series. I don't know why my voice is dying right now. Can you hear this? Oh, whew. So when I finish reading a completed series, I just kind of cut and paste it over into this other tab so that it's not cluttering up my currently reading list. All of the completed series that I finished reading are over here on my completed series list. And again, it just keeps track so I can look back to see when I read all of them. And that's about it. It's kind of just an archive moment for me, but that's where it's kept. I'm actually like so happy with how this now looks. I think this is its final form, at least for the time being. I felt with my old way I had it laid out, it was always kind of a work in progress. I wasn't quite happy with it. This I am happy with. I am happy with this. There you go. I think that's kind of like it. I know this is a pretty short video, but I just really am, it's weird to say, I'm really proud of my spreadsheet. But I am, and I love having this. It's so useful for me. I reference it all the time. Like I said, I read a lot of series. A lot of, like, I would say 90% of the books I read are series and not standalone books. So having a place like this where I can keep it all is super useful. If you do have any questions about it, let me know. I will do my best to answer. For the most part, a lot of these things, I just was like, Googled, can I do this in Google Sheets? And then Google would tell me how to do it, and I would kind of just work my way to fit it into how I wanted to go. For example, like with the progress bar, I've figured out a way you can do this with 2 values, and then I just kind of I just trialed and errored until I figured out how to make it work so that the calculations were auto-calculating and I wouldn't have to update the progress bar every time I read a book, and it would do it automatically. Figured that out. This is the spreadsheet. This is how I track my reading, and I hope you enjoy. Do you have a spreadsheet that you track your reading on? Let me know down below. I'd be curious to know how many other people do this. Is yours more complicated than mine? Is it much more pared down, just simplistic? Let me know. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. And with that, I hope you're having a wonderful day today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Just like hit my piano. Okay.